All right, so let's move on to our final game because otherwise this is going to take us hour 30. Chiefs go into the Falcons. Where is Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback rankings? And are you firing up Kirk Cousins this week against Chiefs defense that looked not as great against Burrow in week 2?
Sadly, yes, I'm playing Kirk Cousins. It looked like week 1 was just an anomaly. The KCD, we know that they're going to have a few down weeks here and there, but it's really, their defense as a whole. Is it Gunther Cunningham over there? I feel like I thought this last week, and then of course not. No, Steve Spagnuolo. I don't know why I had Gunther Cunningham's name on my mind from years ago. No, Steve Spagnuolo over there, and he's the best. He is the best, I think, right now. And he's proving that he does need players. The KCD keeps showing up. So Cousins is my QB 16, but Patrick Mahomes my QB 3. They are not going to run the ball as much as people think, especially this week. You're going to get a ton of screens. Mecole Hardman could be involved. You're going to get a ton of screens to Rashee Rice, to Xavier Worthy. They're going to scheme some crap up. Hey, Travis Kelce might actually be relevant this week.
Kelce lives. Let's talk about these running backs and how much issue the Kansas City backfield is going to be. There was an interview this week where they're talking to Carson Steele. He talks about they're going to share it around. So FYI, no one's getting all the usage this week. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be split with P. Ryan. They'll probably have somebody else stepping in. I don't think Kareem Hunt's on the active roster yet, so I don't think he's going to be healthy playing this week. But it just seems like it's going to be a motley crew of guys. So, Steele is going to get the goal line work probably. But I would bet on Steele over P. Ryan. We've done this P. Ryan thing a lot. I think, to your point, they're going to give the passing targets to the more valuable, wide receiver tight ends that they have, as opposed to P. Ryan. But yeah, he's like a floor play. I don't mind it. Where do you have these guys ranked? And then the Falcons, how high is Bijan? Or where are you at with Bijan?
Yeah. Well, I totally agree with you with KC. I got both of these guys in the 30s. That's Steele and P. Ryan. CEH is going to come back at some point. I think he's on the pup at the moment. And then, of course, you got Kareem Hunt, who no NFL team wanted anything to do with. He was on, I think Cleveland cut him very early in the offseason, and he just stayed with very little activity from teams all offseason. So no, I'm not playing the Kareem Hunt game as well. Listen, the guy that I think you might want to go out and out of your way to maybe at least stash, who might have a role in this offense, is Noah Gray. Noah Gray has looked really good in spot duty. He's not going to be elite for you, but he could have a lot more playing time and a lot more field usage. Maybe they go to 2 tight ends. Maybe they split things out. Justin Watson's been involved as well. So that's a long way of saying, no, do not start a Kansas City running back, even if they're playing the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I think if you're deciding between Steele or P. Ryan, which way are you going between the two of them? Obviously, we're lower on them this week just because we don't know how it's going to go. I think I'm leaning towards Steele. Yeah, I think I would too. But we're talking flex ratings running back. We're not talking about you got to start these guys because they're going to divvy up Pacheco's work. Pacheco was a top 10 running back in usage and expected work. That's not going to happen between these guys. So see how it goes. If you want to stash Keontae Ingram, they picked him up as well. You can just stash all these guys, see how it works out. I don't expect anyone to get the majority of the work there. And with Atlanta, it's Bijan. You got to trust him. I think I saw a stat. He has 1,900 yards projected and no touchdowns. So it's really good with Bijan. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Number 1 in my ranks this week against KC. Ooh. They are going to feed him the football, and they should.
I love that. That is nice. I did not expect to have him there. What's interesting is the Chiefs have been really good against running backs, and obviously this is Bijan. This is a whole nother level. The O-line needs to hold up. That D-line in Kansas City is no joke. They've been really good. Chris Jones is a terror and stuff like that. So we'll see. But it makes sense. Get your good guys the ball. So give Bijan the ball. Give Drake London the ball. Give Kyle Pitts the ball, even though I don't think it's really happening with Kyle Pitts this year. But we talk about that in a second. With your wide receivers in this game, is Rashee Rice the highest? And then where do you rank London and Worthy and any other guy in this game? Darnell Mooney or freaking whatever his name is, Ray McLeod for the Falcons.
Yeah. Is Rashee Rice the highest? Rashee Rice is my wide receiver 6 this week. He's just going to do it again. Xavier Worthy is going to have his up and down games. He looks like he's a supreme talent. He's linked to Patrick Mahomes. It's great. We just don't know how up and down he's going to be week to week. He's a flex guy. Rashee Rice is locked in as your wide receiver 1 on almost every team you don't have Amon-Ra or CD or Justin Jefferson on. So Rashee Rice, yeah, absolutely. You have to fire him up and start him. If I'm looking at the rest of this game, like Drake London, who I am in love with, I had to push him down to wide receiver 21 this week. He got lucky, bailed out, scored a touchdown. I think they throw it around, but I'm going to give a little bit of that to Kyle Pitts. Cousins just isn't really capable of like the 300-yard game anymore. We saw that decline kind of last year. And without Justin Jefferson, getting to multiple touchdowns could be a chore for him weekly. I think he's got 2 touchdown games in him all year, but a 3 touchdowns seems like supreme upside from him, unless they start getting Bijan the ball 8 or 9 times a game, as opposed to just 5 in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, it helps having Bijan. He's like the easy button in that offense because like he could just do everything for him. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Still want to see his like usage and workload increase. So like it can go up for him, like based on what he's done. So I think he's a really, really good player. But yeah, I'm with you on that. The tight ends, where are you ranking? Or actually, sorry, let me ask this question. Where's Xavier Worthy for you? Since we didn't answer that, where is he in your rankings?
Hang on, I just clicked off. I got to go back. Probably low. I just think it's going to be hit or miss with him. We saw him score 2 touchdowns in week 1. We saw him pretty much disappear in week 2. I like him. He's still kind of a back end wide receiver 3 for me. So he's in the low 30s. He's 31. I don't mind that. Actually, I got to push him down because I had him below Brian Thomas or above Brian Thomas. Now he's below Brian Thomas Jr., who I will continue to take the L on all season because he's just a phenomenal talent. But yeah, I got guys like Calvin Ridley, Rashid Shaheed, of course, and even Jalen Waddle ahead of Worthy this week.
Yeah, this tells you how bad it's been for London and Pitts and all those guys. I mean, we saw the light turn on with Kirk in that 2-minute drive where it's like, oh, it's there. Like the talent and skill is still there with Cousins. So hopefully that kickstarts the offense to look a little better because the first 90 minutes and plus for the first 2 games, like just rough, man. So hopefully we see that like it gets going a little bit more. This KC defense is a challenge, so we'll see if it works out. But I mean, with Kyle Pitts and Travis Kelce, they're just 2 underperforming tight ends right now. So talk about tight ends. Where do you have them ranked, and who are you starting? Are you starting Kelce over Pitts or Pitts over Kelce this week?
Have them back to back. They're 7 and 8 this week. Yeah, it's probably still Travis Kelce, although it is a question. It's a legitimate question who you would start here. I do not mind starting Pitts. Again, that KCD is good. There's only a few weapons that you really have to worry about, and those linebackers are something else there at KC, and they fly around the field. Drew Tranquil has just kind of been transformed. Leo Chenal, and of course Nick Bolton. I mean, those guys are awesome back there. So I will give the edge to Kelce over Pitts because of that. But yeah, I mean, flip a coin.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but it's a good problem to have if you're signing these guys. You have 2 of the better tight ends in the NFL, and if like we talk about with Kelce, the usage increases, we'll be fine. It's just Pitts has seen like 6% first 3 targets. That's got to increase, dude. That's like unsustainable. You're just gonna be stuck in the land of just awfulness. But yeah, I think that is gonna sum up our week 3 NFC games. I want to thank everyone for joining us because we're supposed to do this an hour. We're pushing 80 minutes here. So we appreciate all the comments and questions, though. It makes it very entertaining. So we appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, please, it helps us. And comment below if you want to see anything else from us. But we will be dropping on. We don't have anything scheduled for tomorrow, I don't think, except SC's Debbie Dive. We'll be doing our sit start show on Sunday. So, if you have any questions, go to our Facebook go to our Twitter or go to Reddit and post the comments in there.
Or what?
Sitting and starting. I'm back in 2012 at this point. And we'll answer those live on our sit start show on Sunday. We might be starting a little half hour early for that just to get everything going. But anyways, we'll look forward to seeing you all Sunday. So for Jeremy, myself, I want to thank you all for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you later this week. So take care, folks.